All right. Good morning from check my Wi-Fi. I should have done that. Now I feel like Skip Smith, where I for those of you that watch Skip Smith, he is just well, anyway. Yoda Kivano, Kujvaj. No, I'm not back in Budapest, although I certainly can't tell you that I'm not thinking about going back to Budapest. But anyway, it's start of another day, and I sit here and there's all kind of stuff going through my mind. Thank God I've got a good bed. I mean, that makes all the difference in the world. Having a good bed. Probably may be even better if I weren't in the bed alone. But anyway, that's a whole nother matter. But start of another day, and there's some things on my mind. First of all, you know what? I never thought to use YouTube as a resource for tech support. I mean, all the tech support that I got yesterday from comments on the video about this stupid mouse. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. One of the most interesting pieces of advice that I got that was rather I don't know if it was ingenious, but was to take another mouse, to borrow a mouse from somebody, another mouse with a USB, and plug it in, get that to work or see if that works, and then go back and plug this one in. That's probably a something that I wouldn't necessarily have thought of, but I was just going to go out and buy another mouse, and in all likelihood, I probably would, but that takes time. It takes time to go down to the store and time is precious. Time is pre time is precious. This coming from a guy who's going to go on a tour this morning of the palace here in Split. But anyway, hmm, you know what? I've learned to adapt. I've learned to adapt to it, and I've learned to adapt to not having the mouse, meaning, and I just work through it. I mean, it's a nice laptop. I just don't like the touchpad. The touchpad, and you got to use the touchpad for the left and right, mouse click, and that's the challenging thing for me because a lot of what I do requires a lot of precision. It's like almost like being a surgeon. I got to go in and select certain lines of code and copy and paste and all that kind of stuff. And it's a little bit harder with the touchpad on this. But what else is on my mind? I woke up this morning and I went to make my coffee, and I saw this sitting over on the counter, and they left this bottle for me. Okay, they left this bottle, and it's interesting. When I walked into the room and to check in here, and I saw the bottle, I thought that's nice. A bottle of wine, and I used to be I don't know if the word is addicted to this, but when most people look at this give you some insight as to how I think. Well, most people look at this, and they see a bottle of wine. When I look at this, I see a recreational drug. That's what I see. I see a recreational drug. And it's interestingly enough because, when I have a very analytical mind, and you look at the back of this bottle, and the back of the bottle says 12.5 percentage volume, meaning that if you were to take this bottle and divide it by, let's just say 10 equal parts, you'd probably be right about here, right about there. So when I look at this bottle, I see, I look at the bottle and I see 10% alcohol. That's what I see. I see about 10% alcohol. And, it's for me, it's no different than just having like like an IV or something, and shooting yourself up with alcohol, so to speak. But it's interesting because some people, it's interesting how we're, how we differ from one another. Some people have the ability to have a glass of wine now and then, a glass of wine, on the weekend with dinner or whatever. And then other people, this recreational drug just ruins their life. It just ruins their life. It's really something else. I used to when I checked in, I told the woman that I don't drink, and she, like a lot of people assume that maybe I had a drinking problem at one point in time. And I don't know that I had a drinking problem at one point in time, but I definitely drank too much. I knew that. I drank too much. I would go out of my way, sometimes going home at night or whatever, to make sure I had that bottle. Had to have that bottle. I had to get my fix, if you will. And interestingly enough, I used to sit there, and at nighttime I would go through, if I were by myself, I would go through the better part of one of these bottles. I would always leave a little bit. I'd always leave a little bit of wine in the bottle, just so I could feel good about, the fact that I didn't drink a whole bottle. But so I'd leave a little bit. I'd just leave just a little bit, but I'd go through the better part of one of these bottles every night. And and to now sit here, 5 years later, and to look at this bottle, and it's just, I don't even have the slightest desire to pick it up. It's really interesting. It's really interesting, and I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking people that enjoy wine. I'm sure wine has, a wonderful way of adding, to an experience, if you will. It's nothing wrong with wine. Some people can handle it, and some people can't. And I was one of those people that couldn't handle it. So anyway, but what else is on my mind? Where to go, and what to do next. Here it is. Here it is, Tuesday. I check out of this place Friday. Split doesn't really do much for me, to be quite honest with you. It's not a Krakow. It's not a Zagreb. It's okay, don't get me wrong. And I just saw it yesterday. It was all rainy and windy and stormy. And, seeing it this morning, I see this blue sky out there. So seeing it this morning in the light of day, maybe my mind will change a little bit. But it's basically, there's a large palace here. And the palace is from 3 AD, 3 AD, the third century. That's like, what, 1,500 years ago or something that they made this place. And it's massive. The Game of Thrones was filmed here. For those of you who are Games of Thrones fans, apparently the Game of Thrones, is that the name of it? Game of Thrones, something like that, was filmed here in the basement of this palace. And anyway, so the city, it's all well and good. The people are a little bit different here, than up in Zagreb. Interestingly enough, I don't know how to really describe the difference to you, but the people here are a little bit different. Not better, not worse, or whatever. Just a little bit different. Let's see, who do we have on with us this morning? How hard are you looking for a girlfriend? Here we go with the girlfriend that will travel and work with you. I'm not looking at all, Daryl. I'm not looking at all for a, let's see here, live, there we go. All right, I'm not looking for a girlfriend at all. None whatsoever. Not looking for a girlfriend at all. And, but anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so as far as where to go next, as far as where to go next, I came down here and I was all excited that I was going to go to Wies. And I might go to Wies. I don't know. I might go to Wies. Then there's Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is 3 hours away. I could rent a car, pick up a car Friday morning, and drive down to Dubrovnik. Or even take a bus for that matter, I'm sure, down to Dubrovnik. The tricky thing is though, you've got to go through Serbia. You got to go through Serbia to get to Dubrovnik. Now that might be a good thing because they'd stamp my passport. So theoretically, I'd be leaving the EU because you can only stay in the EU for 3 months, and then you got to leave. And I think you can only stay in the EU for so many months out of a year or something like that. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe somebody out there can make a comment. But anyway. So there's a possibility of going down to Dubrovnik. I'd hate to, if I don't go to Dubrovnik, I know that if I don't go to Dubrovnik, I know that I'll probably regret it. I'll probably be, find myself somewhere down the road thinking to myself, you know what? I was so close to Dubrovnik, and I've always wanted to go, but I don't know. We will see. And then the alternative, a couple other possibilities would be to take a ferry out of Split. I could take an overnight ferry and be in Italy on Saturday morning. I could take a ferry and be in Italy. I'd land in Ancona, I think it is. I'd land in Ancona, and then I'd be in Italy. So we will see. And then I could take a bus back up to Zagreb, and catch a train back to Budapest, and go back to Budapest and then maybe back up to Krakow or something like that. I don't know. But, it's funny. Speaking of Budapest, I mentioned in a video that I met this woman up in Budapest. When I say I met this woman, I mean, we talked for 15 minutes. We talked for 15 minutes at a busy train station. And that's it. We talked for 15 minutes. I think no, I don't think. I know we exchanged contact information, and that was basically it. There was nothing necessarily romantic about the meeting, if you will, but it was interesting nonetheless. And I made a comment, I think, on my video yesterday about this woman, that I met. Her name is Ibolia. I always try to pronounce it like the Magyar. Ibolia. Kind of like, well, it's Iboyla. I like India, Boy like boy, and then LA, Ibolia, something like that. Maybe somebody out there will, someone of my Hungarian followers will give me the proper pronunciation for that. But anyway, no sooner had I made the comment on my video about having met this woman, then I get then later on in the day, I'm talking with Yanae on the phone, and Yanae makes a comment that she watched my video and congratulating me on meeting a new woman, and I just had to laugh. Why I don't know that finding a partner is warranted of congratulations. Congratulations, you've got a new love, something like that. Like you won the lottery or something like that. But anyway, Yanae was congratulating me. Whether it was sincere or not, I don't know. But anyway, I found myself thinking about that. And for those of you that have been following me, and you saw my summer travels with Yanae, and were there with me for, the duration of my relationship with Mercedes, when I was taking care of my dad and everything like that. I sometimes, I'm not sometimes, I'm often left challenged by the fact that, I'm often left challenged by the fact that I am, Mr. Undecided. It's really interesting because when I find myself in a relationship, oftentimes I find myself wanting to be out of the relationship. I'll get into a relationship, and then for whatever reasons I find, for whatever reason I find myself, wanting to be out of the relationship, and I find a reason to be out of the relationship. And then when I'm out of a relationship, oftentimes I want to be in a relationship. And it's not, I'm looking for the words to describe, but it's not, interestingly enough, as time goes by, I've had some really, really good relationships. And more times than not, when I look back on, the women that were in my life, 99% of the time, they end up finding the man of their dreams. I mean, Mercedes is with some wonderful, wonderful guy. Lorena, remember Lorena? She's happily married in love. Last time I knew, but and then at the end of the day, here I am sitting alone in a hotel room. But I don't. I'm almost of the mindset. I'm almost of the mindset that I should just stay clear of relationships. Like Daryl was saying, how hard am I looking for a woman? You don't look for love. Love is one of the things that I found. You need to be open to love. You need to be open, and you need to be receptive to love. But you don't look for love. Love is something that inevitably will find you. Yes, you can put yourself in social situations. You can put yourself in social situations. You can put yourself on websites like Tinder or Match or whatever, and you can put yourself in social situations. Here we have another comment. Let's see. Hi, Tom. When you are, these comments come up on the screen, and then the comments come up on the screen when you and Skip doing some more videos to get her. You guys are hilarious. Okay, thank you. But I'm almost of the well. I was talking about see these comments. They just distract me. But I'm almost of the mindset. Damn it! I take off my glasses. Okay, no more comments, folks. All right. Maybe traveling is kind of your girlfriend. Yeah. Okay. So stop with the comments, because then I got to put on my glasses and whatever. So and they ruin my trend of thought. But anyway, I'm of the mindset that maybe I should just stop with the whole relationship thing. Love will find me. Love will find me. Love will, for those of you that don't have love, love will probably find you as well. It's just, more times than not, it's just inevitable. And people, people I think often race into relationships. People race into relationships often because they're so desperate for love. They make bad decisions, and they get into a relationship for all the wrong reasons. And that's why you see such a high failure rate of relationships. Something like 3 out of 4 relationships fail. Wrap your head around that. 3 out of 4 relationships fail. 25%. You got a 25% chance of finding a successful relationship. I mean, you wouldn't, if you had $1,000 in your pocket and you were going to walk into a casino knowing there was a 25% chance you'd come out a winner, you probably wouldn't walk into that casino. you'd probably walk down to Starbucks and get yourself a coffee and then maybe go see a movie or something like that. If you knew there was a 25% chance of winning, 75% chance of losing, would you walk in the casino with $1,000? Probably not. And I know there's somebody out there saying, well, where do you get those numbers? How is that possible? Look, 50% of marriages fail around the world. 50% of marriages fail. It's a stat. It's a fact. Of the 50%, now this is a guess. Okay, this is a guess. Whereas the statistic of failed marriages is more of a fact. This is more of an educated guess. Of the marriages that don't end in divorce, 50% of those are in unhappy, unfulfilling relationships. They're in a relationship or in a marriage more so just going through the motions. They're in the relationship because of the kids. They're in the relationship because of the health. They're in the marriage because of the finance and what have you. I can't see the comments, so no more comments, please. But anyway, they're in a relationship for all the wrong reasons, and so that's why I say that you have a 25% chance. You have a 25% chance of finding love. You know, I should say, and I think I've said this before, Yanae. I don't like to, involve, when it comes to these videos, it's one thing to casually mention, somebody in the video, but I try to stay clear of being too personal when it comes to the videos. But I gotta say that over the years, Yanae is right up there at the top with the best girlfriend that I've ever had. Yanae is a really an incredible woman. She's a little spitfire. And, I find myself the other day, on Facebook, when you're going through the memories, or not the memories, you go to Facebook and you're looking, you scroll down and there's a picture you uploaded like a year ago or 5 years ago or something like that. And they have share your memory, share your memory. And it's been a year now since I met Yanae. And so now inevitably, there's your 50-cent word. Inevitably, the memories are starting to surface on my Facebook timeline, if you will. And, I got to say I don't know if the word is it hurts, but boy, it sure is, they're good memories, but they're reminders, they serve as reminders. And I saw one of the memories the other day was of Yanae and I at a Halloween party last year, and boy, it was so much fun, having Yanae in my life, and I find myself thinking of these little things about Yanae. Yanae drinks water, I guess. I don't know why she would have stopped. Yanae drinks water like a camel. I mean, she goes through these water like all day long. She's got to have water. And I remember when her and I were traveling, how many times I had to go out of my way, out of my way to find her water. Always trying to find Yanae water. That was always something that I had to do. The other little interesting thing about Yanae was just like, almost like it was a spiritual ritual. She had to have her tea at night. Every night she had to have her cup of tea before going to bed. She wouldn't go to bed without having her cup of tea. And I always had to, figure out how were we going to boil water, wherever we were, how are we going to get the boiled water, for the tea. But really, really good, really, really good memories with Yanae. But anyway, and then the other thing about being undecided is the whole traveling thing. You know, the whole traveling thing. When it comes to traveling, it's it is you know, oftentimes when I'm traveling, it's just like being in a relationship. When I'm traveling, you know, there are oftentimes when I just wish I were home, home in my own bed, my own routines, my own walking down to the gym in the morning, you know, that type of thing. But then when I find myself at home, I find myself thinking and wishing that I was traveling. You know, I am just one. I'm just one messed up dude. I'm just one. I'm just one messed up guy. I gotta tell you, just one head to toe, front to back. I'm one messed up guy, and you heard it here first. You know, you heard it out of the horse's mouth, so to speak. But hmm. But anyway, life will life will go on. So anyway, speaking of going on, I need to get on with my work. A lot of work going on right now, and it's exciting work. I'm doing some really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. So it's that's what I love about my work. Every day it's a challenge, and every day it pushes me to the limit insofar as my creativity and what have you. So anyway, with that being said, hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see if I can read the last comment that came up here. Let's see, what was the last comment. I tried to watch Skip Smith's videos and had a hard time staying interested. You did? You had a hard time staying interested? Okay, you hear that, Skip Smith? Daryl Cantor out there has a hard time staying interested in your videos. Daryl, that's because his videos are boring. They're all about the villages. That's it. Skip doesn't, you know, it's like Skip always talks about this book. He talks about this book. This guy actually sends Skip like $300 a month to promote his book. And the book is called Inside the Bubble. Inside the Bubble. You know, the villages in Florida. It's a lovely place, but it's a little bubble. You know, it's like you have one of those little things and you blow the bubbles and out they go. You know, well, the villages is one of those little bubbles. It just hasn't popped yet. You know, it's just kind of out there floating around. And Skip Smith is living in the bubble. Skip Smith's living in the bubble. Skip, I love you to death. You know that. But get out of your bubbles, Skip. Get out of your comfort zone. You know, do videos on something else. I don't know. You know, do videos on you know, how to golf, or do videos on, God, I don't know. You know, I don't know what the hell you could do videos on, Skip. But just come out of your bubble, Mr. Smith, so Daryl can enjoy watching. Daryl can enjoy watching you. And you know what, Daryl? There's probably for every one person that thinks Skip Smith's videos are not interesting, there's probably 10 that think that my videos aren't interesting. So anyway, it's just to each their own. You know, to each their own. Live and let live. You know, that's how the saying goes. Live and let live. So have a wonderful day, okay? And take good care. All right, bye bye.